They called him a threat. They called him a violent agitator. The Department of Homeland Security told us that 37-year-old Alex Pretti, an ICU nurse who spent his life saving veterans, approached agents with a weapon and had to be put down. They lied. We know now that thanks to witnesses' affidavits and video analysis that when the shots rang out, Alex Pretti wasn't holding a gun, he was holding a phone. He was exercising his First Amendment right to film while lawfully exercising his Second Amendment right to carry. And for the first time in history, the NRA isn't standing with the Republican White House. They're standing with the citizen. When the NRA calls the Republican administration's rhetoric dangerous and wrong, you need to pay attention. This isn't politics anymore. This is survival. Today, we're drawing a red line. We are going to talk about the betrayal of Alex Pretti, the failure of the state, and the stoic discipline that every single gun owner must master to survive in a world that wants you dead or in prison. Let's look at the reality, the logos, as the Stoics would call it. The administration's narrative was simple. A man with a gun is a threat. If you have a gun near federal agents, you are fair game. U.S. Attorney Billy Saley actually said it. If you approach law enforcement with a gun, there is a high likelihood that they will be legally justified in shooting you. Pause, think about that. If merely possessing a tool you're licensed to carry justifies your execution, the Second Amendment is dead. Alex Pretti had a permit. He had no criminal record. Witnesses say he was de-escalating and trying to protect a woman who was pushed. But because he was armed, the government claims they had a license to kill. This is what Marcus Aurelius warned us about. When power is divorced from reason, the agents acted on passion, fear, adrenaline, impulse. This is not law enforcement. This is tyranny. And the NRA statement makes it clear. We will not accept a standard where a law-abiding citizen is treated like a terrorist just because he exercised a constitutional right. Now we need to have a hard conversation, one that might make you angry, but it might also save your life. We know the government failed Alex Pretti, but as Stoics, we focus on what we can control. The dichotomy of control. When you strap that holster into your waist, you're not just carrying a weapon. You're carrying a responsibility that denies you the luxury of ego. There is an old Stoic concept. It is not events that disturb people. It is their judgments concerning them. When you're armed, you cannot afford to be disturbed. You cannot afford to get into a shouting match. You cannot afford to step into a scuffle to set things right unless lives are immediately at stake. Why? Because the system is designed to crush you. You are carrying a gun. You must be the calmest person in the room. You must be the rock against which the waves crash. If someone insults you, you walk away. If you see a chaotic protest, you leave. Why? Because as we saw with Alex Pretti, the moment you enter a confrontation while armed, the narrative shifts. You are no longer a citizen. You are a gunman. You are a threat. The government agents in Minneapolis were slaves to their fear. Do not be like them. Do not give in to the excuse they are desperate for. Seneca said, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. When you are armed, delay is your best friend. De-escalation is your primary weapon. The gun is the last resort, only to be used when the choice is life or death, not when the choice is pride or submission. You must adapt the philosophy of the gray man. A Stoic doesn't need to prove he is free by shouting at agents. He protects his life and his family by being invisible until it's time to be decisive. Alex Pretti was a hero. He tried to help, but his tragic death teaches us a brutal lesson. The state does not care about your intentions. It cares about its own power. Do not be a martyr, be a survivor. Avoid the confrontation. Avoid the connotation of being an agitator. Let your character be your loudest statement. The NRA has finally drawn a line. They have admitted that a pro-gun administration can still be anti-liberty. We must hold this administration accountable. We must demand a full independent investigation into Minneapolis. But while we fight the political battle, you must fight the internal battle. Master your emotions. Discipline your mind. Carry with wisdom of a philosopher, not the impulse of a brawler. Stay dangerous, stay disciplined, and stay safe.